So how much do I day trade in the stock market with? What's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions here with another video. And if you're watching this video, it's most likely because you are trying to decide how much money you should personally fund your trading account with. One of the first things that I want to start this video off with is if I can go back in time and have any advice for myself when I was just getting started, it would personally be that if I'm actually trying to learn how to trade, I think my main focus should be to learn. I think one of the biggest drawbacks or one of the biggest mistakes that beginner traders make is they're so obsessed about making money because the stock market is so accessible when they're just getting started that they don't really build that foundation of understanding what it is that you are doing. And one of the things that we always try to empower you to do is to be your own person. There is not one perfect way to trade or invest or do anything in the stock market. And with that being said, it's much easier to be told what you should do, but with that very famous quote of, you can give a man a fish and he can eat for a day, or you can teach a man how to fish and he can eat for a lifetime. So it really depends on, your overall expectation of how you want to approach the stock market. The stock market is not an easy market to be successful in. It does take time. You are going to make a lot of mistakes, and yes, it is challenging. But I think that's one of the reasons that I find the stock market to be so exciting, is because we are challenged, especially as day traders, every single day. So to answer your question, how much do I personally trade with right now? I start my months with $50,000 in my trading account. As of right now, my account sits a little bit under $100,000. And one of the things that I want to share with you is when I began to take trading serious, I started trading with anywhere from around $2,500 to $5,000. And the picture that I want to draw out for you is it's so crazy to see the overall progress and experience that I've made in the past couple of years. But even with all the experience that I have right now and the dollar amount that I'm trading with, I still feel like I'm someone that's just getting started big picture because of how I plan to continue to scale. But I'm here to trade with a dollar amount that I feel both comfortable and effective with. Now, I want to share a couple ideas with you. Now, in my experience, when it comes down to the dollar amount that I trade with, I have found myself to perform much better when I don't have such an aggressive dollar amount at risk. But I have noticed that the days that I perform best are not the days that I'm fully invested into a position, but it's where my position size is aggressive enough that I feel effective when I'm in that position, but not so invested in that position that if things begin to go south, I get a little bit more on the emotional side. And that's one of the things that I need you to take into consideration is when you're deciding how much money you should fund your trading account, is not just thinking about how much money you can make, but with the overall idea that loss is inevitable in the stock market. Like, it's going to happen. And the only thing that you can do as a day trader is how you manage that risk. And this is something that I struggled with when I was just getting started. And I think it's one of the biggest obstacles that people encounter when they're getting started as well. And that's understanding when to walk away and to not bag hold something. So if you're someone that is bag holding, if you're someone that struggles to cut losses, it doesn't mean that, again, you need to give up. It just means that you need to take time to practice on how to cut losses. This is why we've always encouraged our beginner traders to paper trade, simulation trading, trading on demand in ways that you don't just always are so obsessed about the offense and how to make money, but also understanding that it is so important to focus on the defense. But it makes sense, right? The only way that you can consistently grow your trading account is if you can control how much money you give back. So if you really want to be a part of the percentage of people who actually make money in the stock market, is not just being so focused on what stocks to trade or what is it that I can put my money in to aggressively grow my trading account, but it's also understanding when you need to pull out and when it is that you need to walk away to cut losses. And this, in my experience, is much easier when the dollar amount that you have at risk is much less. And this is something that you can share in the comment section. How many times when you're fully invested in a position and things are going according to plan, or maybe if things are going south, you're biting your nails and you're so nervous, right? You're so emotional in front of that computer screen. But when it comes down to a much more conservative position size and you're actually focused on the idea and the opportunity behind that trade, you're much more involved and you're much more structured and disciplined. So when things do go according to plan, you can lock in profits. Or if things do go south, you're more likely to cut losses because you're not so emotional because of the dollar amount at risk. I have found, again, in my experience, the more that I limit myself, the better I perform. And this is something that you guys can all test out. If you're someone that has struggled with cutting losses, if you are someone that has struggled in locking in profits, maybe if you are so much less focused on the dollar amount that you are either up or down and so much more focused on taking advantage of quality trades with a smaller dollar amount, this would only then empower you to focus on the actual idea behind the trade and not so much on the dollar amount that you have at risk. Again, when you're learning how to trade, in my experience and in my opinion, your focus should be to learn and not to make a profit. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Do you find yourself performing better when you reduce the dollar amount that you have at risk, or do you find the mentality of make it or break it to be much more effective for your overall trading experience? Again, feel free to share your experience down in the comment section. I really hope that I earned your thumbs up. Don't forget to stay connected. We do run the largest Facebook group in the world for those who day trade in the stock market with over 270,000 members, and that's going to be that first link down below. If you guys would like to watch me trade live as soon as Monday when the market opens, click that second link down below, learn a little bit more about the Learn Plan Profit group, and see if being able to watch me trade live would be something of value for you. Like always, team, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy.